Welcome to Apex in 5 minutes, and this is today's user story. What is Power Platform? Now, Power Platform is a set of no-code tools that lets you build apps, dashboards, and even chatbots without having to be a developer. So, let me quickly show you an example. So, if you go here at the bottom and you'll see the name Power Platform, or you just simply log into Microsoft and type in Power Platform, you will be greeted with four options. And four, and these four options are Power Automate, Power BI, Power Pages, Copilot Studio. So I'll first start with Power BI. And Power BI is a visualization tool, so you're actually able to create a quick dashboard or report and visually see your different KPIs. So I'll quickly create one. So I have already created a database called sales data. I'll browse on OneDrive and select it. So always make sure that you actually save it on OneDrive so that you can easily access whatever data you'd like to work with. So I'll go to table, click on create. Okay, perfect. So now let's create your first dashboard on Power BI. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly, so on in this section, you are able to see different visualizations. So I'll select the clustered column chart and it just automatically pops into the building area. And when you go to data, you click on your database or table and you can select what information you'd like to be displayed on your visualization. So this will just be sales by region. And you're actually able to edit this by clicking on format visuals, and this is the x-axis, y-axis. There's some general settings that you can play around with that I will also cover in future videos. And there you have it. You've literally just created your first dashboard. And next is Power App. So, y- so picture this: you don't want to constantly have to create a new row and enter this information in. So Power App actually allows you to create an application. So the application I'm going to be creating is a simple data entry application where you could enter the data without having to actually go into Excel and type every single thing that you would like to add, and you just simply be able to use this application to do so. So I'll start off with a blank canvas. However, as you can see, Power Platform is fully operational with Copilot, so you actually have the option of building or getting a lot done just by prompting Copilot. So I'll start off with a blank canvas and I'll use font size. So the first step we have to do is we have to add data and actually just make sure our data is connected like I already have here. Let's go to insert. So these are all the different things that you can insert. So we'll insert the edit form and connected data will be simple because we already have the data connected. So I'll just select this table that or database that we would like to connect with. The next thing is, wait, let me just move this more to the more up and just spread it a bit. So I'll just go to fields and now we'll just add all of the fields that we would like the user to add information on. So these fields are the exact same fields of the database. So this app will allow the user to enter data. So the next thing we'll have to add is a button. Perfect. So let's just quickly change the name of the button. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let's quickly go to the button. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that when this button is clicked, that it will actually submit the form. So how we do that is we just simply click on the button, and here by this coding area, we just simply, let me just change that to FX. So we have to create a formula and say that when this button is clicked, are going to submit this form. And as you can see, this form is called Form 5. So I don't know why it's called Form 5. So the Form 5, perfect. So what that means is simply that when the button is clicked, that it will now submit Form 5. Yep. Okay, let me just delete this. Oh, so it's Form 4. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we have to submit Form 4. So there's just a make sure. Okay, perfect. So I think that's all that's needed. So we've just basically created your first Power App. So let me quickly preview the app. Okay, now the reasoning for this is, so let's just go back. So what you would have to do is, it's because the default isn't screen one. So what you have to do is just simply go to default. So just default mode, and the form mode needs to be, so it needs to be new. Okay, perfect. So let's just save everything. Let's call it app test, save, and then when we run it, it should, okay, perfect. So you will just simply enter all of these and press the submit button, and it will submit. So we've officially created your first Power App. And now the next thing is that when the user now, for example, adds information to this table, you would like the manager or any person in particular to be informed about that change. So this is where flows come into play. So there's a various range of flows, but for this situation, we would like an auto launch flow. So meaning that something will automatically happen when the record adjusted or updated. So we could just call this flow sales flow. So we can just keep this. Perfect. And now we could add a trigger. So a trigger is basically we saying that we are telling Power Automate what to observe. So telling Power Automate to observe a selected row, and I'm basically selecting the row that I would like Power Automate to observe. So let's quickly go to the database, documents, sales data, and I'm selecting table 2. Perfect. So the next step is I need to actually state what I would like to happen. So when the table has been updated, I would like it to send an email. So I'll just type email here. Perfect. So send email notification, and I'm just going to say tool. So I'll just create a fake email, Gmail. So notice how it's connected to the work email. So add a subject test and a body test as well, and save and just check for no errors. There's no errors found, and as simple as that, you've just created a power automation. Last but not least, an agent to guide the user or simply assist the user. So this is sort of my favorite thing to do. So to simply create an agent, you click on create an agent. Now you have two options. You could either describe the agent or you could configure the agent. So when you configure the agent, you have to add more specific titles, messages, instructions. So it's more specific, but with the scribe, it's quite powerful where you would just, for example, I could just describe the agent I would like, create an agent that will give me sales tips or sales strategy. Perfect. And that's all. Cool. So, and as you can see, it's already giving me options or suggestions on what I could actually ask the agent to do. So let's go for the first one for some tips. What are some effective ways to find new sales lead? And it even suggests a question for me to actually ask, which is amazing. So, so as simple as that, we have created an agent that actually assists me when it comes to coming up with all these sales strategies that will allow the business to actually make not more income, but also provide better services to our clients. So thank you for watching.